Homies, what is up? Do I have a story for you? I downloaded TikTok for the first time, again, last week. I'd gone on a lovely detox from social media. It was great, my mind cured. My brain rot, almost gone. Almost. I was curious, what's going on? The first video opened up, drama. So much controversy going on TikTok right now. Next video I swipe down, Anna Paul's getting cancelled. Swipe down again, Joey from Impractical Jokers is getting cancelled. What is happening? Do you know what I thought I'd do? I hired an investigator to do some research for me to inform me on what I've missed out on. And to be honest, it's some of the biggest TikTok drama in Australian history. One of the biggest all-time creators, Anna Paul, she's getting cancelled right now, guys, and it is absolutely horrific. And that's what we're going to dive into today. I only know 3 things about this woman. She's an adult content creator. If you know what that means, she basically does OnlyFans. She loves to do things about her life, show off how much money she's made from selling her body online. And hey, girl, I'm not discriminating. Get your bag. If I could do that, if I had a big fat bunda that I could sell on the internet, I would be doing the same thing. My third thing that I know that she's in big doo-doo. Okay? Huge doo-doo even. And do you know how I know that? Because of this. A little thing called Social Blade, where you can see trends on TikTok, how many followers people have gained and lost. And you might notice this is 2022, 2023. Everything's going great. Anna Paul's at her height in life. I'm yet to hit this stage of my life, but I'm confident that it'll happen. You might notice, oh, a bit of a flat line. Nothing's happening. That's a bit odd. And then right here, January 2025, Anna Paul loses many followers. She's lost 2 million on TikTok, which is huge. She's now at 6.1. But for 2 billion people to unfollow her, you know it's a big deal. And you might be wondering, well, Harry, how did this all start? And I was wondering the same thing, and this is what my investigator has given us today to research, okay? Who cares what the internet is saying? Who cares what 2 million people are saying? Let's make our own decisions. And it all starts with this lady, Mikaela Testa. She is also OnlyFans creator. Girl, get your bag, okay? I wish I could do it. Anna Paul and Mikaela Testa used to be friends. Don't know about OnlyFans content, but they would post TikToks together. They were best goddamn friends on the internet. Fast forward to today, well, Mikaela posted one video and one video only. And that's what started this whole drama, and we're gonna watch it right now.
There's a lot of things wrong with Anna Paul. It's way easier to hate me for calling her out when she's wrong than accepting that the Anna you guys love and idolize so much never existed. You don't know her. You don't know her like I know her. Anna, remember that god-awful trend of people posting photos of influencers that they would and wouldn't feel comfortable wearing a bikini around? Remember those slideshows people would make with everyone in the family of all of you being labeled as safe and my photo was at the end marked as I would never feel safe in a bikini around Mikaela? Meanwhile, right before these videos were trending in 2021 on the South Bank Bridge, when you were peak body positivity, love yourself version of Anna, a plus size fan came up to you and asked for a hug and a picture. You smiled at her. You told her that you loved her. She told you how your words online have helped her be more comfortable in her body. The moment she walked away, you told Atis that she was annoying and gross and you didn't want to agree to the hug because she was fat and sweaty. Atis laughed. These were your...
Whoa. That's awful. And my investigator has told me that Anna Paul is known for her body positivity content online. Love your body, love thyself, love thy neighbor. 3 things that she lives by, same as me. But apparently she's faking it, okay? And then behind her back called her sweaty and fat. That's not a good look.
Things like this were a common occurrence. Seeing your fakeness in the flesh was such a disturbing experience. Your fans mean nothing to you, just like the animals you buy and palm off to others. Watching her fans scramble over scraps, fighting each other because they need these funds while she films it, flaunts her designer labels, endless holidays, and material excess. This is dystopian and out of touch.
I'm not opposed to people flaunting their riches. I do it all the time. Flaunt my gold-plated chain, ice on my wrist, so I look better when I dance. Something put me in a trance. Anyone heard those lyrics? It's about me.
Anna, if you truly wanted to give back to your fans, you would use a free platform such as your giant Instagram page with over 2.4 million followers.
Ooh, 2.4 million now at 1.9. My God. I think she even got plastic surgery. Fake. See, you can't believe everything that you see on the internet. That's the truth. You guys didn't even know that I have lip filler in right now and 1 BBL. And I say 1 BBL because it's only on one cheek because I wanted just one cheek so I could like bong. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's continue.
Posting further stories of screenshots sending few people $500 saying you know where to find me, incentivizing more to subscribe and fall for this in hopes to win.
So she's doing a raffle through her OnlyFans. Sign up to buy lewd content and you might win $500. To be honest, if I was a woman and I was in my situation right now, I'd just switch bodies. I think I would have a ball on OnlyFans. Look, men can do it too, but I think it's a lot harder to make it as a man on OnlyFans than it is a woman. So I'm not judging at all. Okay, but it sounds like she's advertising this to her young fans, like myself, probably people who are much younger than me, and that doesn't sit with me.
The whole premise of you luring your largely underage fan base to a website containing pornographic photos of you in the hopes of them winning your illegal lottery gambling scheme is so twisted and weird. People may start pointing at me because I'm on the platform too. While I understand, I also testify. Only 3.4% of my following on Instagram where this is displayed is under the age of 18. Anna's statistics would paint much different story. Another attack that Anna fans will use on me to defend her bad behavior is that I'm obsessed with her family and that I'm not over Atis. They spread all sorts of rumors about what they think happened.
Okay, bit of context with this bit. Atis is another guy who's a TikToker, and he is Anna Paul's brother. And Mikaela used to date Atis, and we're going to hear about more of that in a second. But Atis, since now, deleted all of his videos off TikTok because of the things that Mikaela has accused him of. Trigger warning, talking about abuse and self-harm. So trigger warning for that.
Atis Paul has physically abused me multiple times when I tried to leave him. He would hurt himself and threaten his life to scare me into not leaving after he would hurt me. He would take large percentages such as 50% of my income to manage me, but in reality, there was no managing, and I personally think it was financial abuse. After we broke up, he took jewelry from my room, hacked into my bets accounts, withdrew money, and then deleted the accounts, thinking I wouldn't notice. He is a cold-blooded scammer. He has not only scammed me, but the public, and this started in him from a young age. As a result of what was happening to me, I would get UTIs, and that in turn has permanently affected another internal body part. I'm undergoing surgery in February to correct my body as I have debilitating health issues as a result.
Oh, right. I knew that.
Being upper middle class is not being poor, Anna. Your exaggerated stories for the internet has always made your dad upset, and me, well, just angry.
So what she referenced just there, Anna Paul was on the news a couple of years ago.
With more than 1 million followers across her social media platforms,
4 years ago this was posted.
Testa has become one of Australia's most popular influencers.
So she even got on the damn news because she's been portraying herself as this young Australian girl who's gone from basically poverty on welfare, struggling through the damn trenches all of her life. And she's finally had this up and come with OnlyFans and her Instagram and her TikTok's all blown up, and now she's rich. Bro, what benefits do you get from lying about how poor you were? Well, the sympathy of the crowd. People like an underdog, you know? Gives me hope that one day I could go from rags to riches, you know what I'm saying?
What is OnlyFans?
What is OnlyFans?
How does it work, and how much money does it actually pay?
Oh, that's a good question.
OnlyFans is a subscription service. It is most commonly known as like an 18+ service, like subscription service. Creators can post 18+ content if they want. That's just what it's most known for. But you can post anything on there. There's makeup artists who post makeup tips, and their fans will subscribe, pay $5 a month to know more about makeup tips, or $5 a month to know more about like fitness from fitness coaches.
Doesn't even mention what she's doing on there. Just blows right past that question.
Some people have questioned whether it's a real job. In fact, one star even hit back at the trolls yesterday. What do you know? X-rated influencer Mikaela Testa claps back at strangers who demand she get a real job. Even Mikaela Testa made it on the damn news, dude. That's crazy. She looks very different in this photo. Maybe they weren't friends at this point, but they were on the same wavelength. Both like defending their job and both being proud OnlyFans creators. So they definitely had a connection. That's when they
crazy.
Said, get a real job, what you're doing isn't real. What do you say to people who think that?
Oh, we get that every single day. I get messages saying, get a real job, that's not a real job. But you know what? If it's not a real job, then where's the money coming from? Like, the money's real, so the job is real. What do you mean? Do you know what I mean?
And you pay tax and all that sort of stuff as well, don't you?
There's an assumption always when it's an 18+ of anything. But you're known here for your 60-second daily vlogs. Yeah? What's a typical day?
He read that like such a damn boomer. That's how my own mother would read that. Your 60-second vlogs on the TikTokies? Is that right, Anna Paul?
Look like for you, and what to a degree is your content, I guess.
There we go. That's the question we want to know.
I'll wake up in the morning and I have 60 seconds to show my whole day. So every time something small happens, I'll film it for 1 second. So say I'm making pancakes. I'll film myself with my phone making pancakes for literally 1 second. And then say we're driving somewhere, I'll film the car for 1 second. And at the end of the day, all those 1 seconds, they add up to 1 minute. And then I will voice over what happened. So
you're telling me that those each 60 seconds add up to 1 minute of content? Guys, that's a real job, okay? Real money and real job.
And people love watching it because they get inspired to do little things. They're like, people say, your day's so exciting, like your day seems so fun. And it's just because I'm showing the little things, like...
Oh my god, your day seems so fun. Play clip of her rubbing lotion on her kneecap.
Putting on a face mask or making a coffee, like just little things, and people love watching that.
Wow. That has not aged well at all. That's insane. Doesn't even mention on live TV what she does on that OnlyFans, which is very lewd content, okay? And you'll never guess what? I put down 1 second of my life. One second, and I do 60 of those in a row, okay? 1 second of pancakes, 1 second of rubbing lotion on my kneecap, okay? The fans eat it up and they love it. They get excited over it, okay? It's that easy, okay? Real money, real job.
If I had more time, I could tell you more stories in detail. Maybe if Anna's fans don't bully me off the internet, you'd get some. Thank you so much for listening.
Wow. What a damn blockbuster video. Mikaela Testa, again, comes in with one more follow-up video. And keep in mind that Anna Paul hasn't replied yet. It's been a couple weeks since that video was posted, and this is the next installment.
Anna would constantly buy new birds, and I mean a new bird almost every 6 months or so. She even had 5 birds at one point. This woman does not care for her birds. Unless they're in a TikTok video, they sit in a cage. I witnessed this for many years. These birds would sit in a cage with a window shut, really disgusting, would never come out of the cages, only for content or maybe once or two a month. And when she bought cats...
Animal abuse now is coming into it. Extortion, animal abuse, child labor. Not child labor, what do you call that? Child extortion, stealing money, abusive brother.
I would go in there and entertain the birds because it would be so sad. They would be singing and crying and begging for attention and affection. When she bought those hairless cats, I would hear her say, I can't wait for these birds to die because it is hard having cats and birds at the same time, which I agree with. I just heard from Atis' new ex-girlfriend, that the bird sat in a cage in the laundry and she actually never saw it out of the cage. She said, oh my god, yeah, by the way, Quixie died. I didn't tell you guys because I was so sad. You weren't sad, Anna. You were not fucking sad. You did not care about that bird and you didn't care about the rest of the birds that you had because you had 5 of them. So she bought a new bird, by the way. She buys animals for...
I shouldn't be laughing. That's not funny at all. Poor birds. I could barely look after 2 fish by myself. And they ate each other. But I did give them attention. I put on Cartoon Network on the TV all the time. Okay, they loved it. They didn't cry. Didn't cry once, okay? I mean, it was a bit hard to see the tears because they were in water. But you do need to have a certain level of competency to look after pets. And if you have to pay someone else to look after them, then maybe having a couple birds isn't for you. And fans are starting to question Anna Paul. Start going into her DM, start texting her saying, what the hell is going on, Anna? Why is Mikaela saying all these things? Who was your best friend of 15 damn years, and now she's coming out about all this shit. Is it true? Are you scamming us? Is your brother an evil demon? And that's the question on everyone's damn mind. Everyone's damn mind was thinking the same thing, okay? And then this is Anna Paul in the flesh on her account. 1.5 million likes. This is her first reply video. Now, where am I sitting on the fence? Obviously, I'm on Mikaela's side right now. We haven't heard her response, haven't heard how she's going to defend herself. Let's remain unbiased and watch Anna Paul's response.
If I made a video addressing every time anyone said anything bad about me, I would be posting all day long every single day, as would every other content creator. That's what the whole For You page would be filled with. But I think we can all agree that this has gotten a little bit big and a little bit much. So now here I am. And I'm never doing this again. I don't address stuff like this, but it has gotten very big. I'm by myself. There's no one, there's no script, there's nothing. I'm just talking to the camera. The reason why I've taken so long is because this all took me by surprise and it was a very big shock to me.
She's got no script. Mikaela had a script. She's doing it raw, okay? As I'm sure she probably does on her OnlyFans as well. Trying to show her authenticity, which is probably a good move. Probably a good PR move, but what does she have to say?
3 months ago, she was asking me to go to Fiji with her on a girls' trip. And last year, when my dad was apparently homeless and that was going everywhere crazy on TikTok, she was the one helping me through it, sending me voice messages, telling me, don't listen to the people online, they're dumb, everyone is stupid, tell Papa it's going to be okay, I hope Papa's okay, don't tell him not to listen. She was helping me.
So Anna's saying that just a couple months ago, they were talking all friendly like. They were being all lovey-dovey, being friends, like nothing ever happened. But now she's a bit shocked because Mikaela's come out with all this shit. I would probably be shocked too.
So the first thing I want to address is that apparently in 2021, a fan came up to me and we hugged. And after she walked away, I said, oh my God, she was so fat and sweaty. Now, I do not call my fans fat. That is not who I am. That is not what I stand for. That's not what I've ever stood for. But you guys know me, surely. That is not what I stand for. Sweaty, however, I may have called her sweaty because when somebody...
Look, never call anyone overweight or fat. I would never do that, guys. Sweaty? She stank. He said, she said situation. Nothing you can really do about that. So let's take that with a grain of salt, okay?
Wet and they touch you and then they leave. And when you're with your best friend and you are now wet because of them, you may say, I am now wet. Again, this was 4 years ago, but that may have happened. The second one is that I lie about growing up broke. Now, I do not lie about the fact that I grew up broke. When I say I grew up broke, that is my experience. That is how I felt. When I can hear my parents talking in the kitchen that the budget for the groceries that week is $30, it makes me feel broke. When we can't afford school uniforms, it makes me feel broke. When I'm 11, when I'm 10, and all my friends can afford something and my parents can't, it makes me feel broke.
Okay, I can kind of see what you're saying, but feeling broke and being broke are two different things. I feel broke all the time. Am I broke? Yes. Actually, that's not a good argument. Feeling is very different to reality. Look, guys, I felt broke. Okay? Hey, real job, real money.
That does not mean that I was the most broke person on earth. There are definitely people in way worse situations than me, but that does not mean that I'm lying about the fact that I felt broke. Another one that I'm a manipulative liar because I called pasta noodles or something like that. Like, insanity. I think we can all agree it's gotten very, very insane anyways, this is not what my account is about, ever. I mind my business, I stay in my peace, I post my nice videos, and that's all I do, and that's all I will ever do, and that's all my account will ever be about. But it all got very big, so here I am.
Whoa. Okay. Look, you have to give her props for doing that all in one take, but I wouldn't give her props because she didn't really respond to anything that Mikaela said. The only thing she responded to is about calling her fans fat and sweaty. But it was very suspicious that Anna Paul didn't talk about anything about Atis or about Mikaela getting scammed. It was a very shallow response, you know? There was the iceberg and she went 10% in that water. I think a lot of the rest of the internet thought this as well. Anna, I'm from Pakistan, and this not enough for me. Me when I need to hit the word limit on my essay. Man, I feel broke every day. Yeah, she also said that she felt broke, guys, okay? It doesn't matter how much money she had in the damn bank. Doesn't matter if she got first class tickets and Gucci watches. She felt broke. I'm feeling gaslighted. Yeah. She said some things that were a little sus. And this has led to the next video, or should I say, Mikaela's response to this. And if you guys don't know, she apparently did a 2-hour podcast. This is a clip from her podcast, but she did a 2-hour podcast explaining everything. She deep dives into everything. She pulls up receipts. She's posted 3 videos, all at least 2 hours long. And they're all titled My Experience with the Paul Family. Wow. Obviously, we're not going to watch all this. We're just going to watch the highlights that my investigator has sent me. Mikaela's first response back to Anna's response video, okay? And now Mikaela's come with this receipt.
We want to make it very clear that we did not know that this letter was being made. Mikaela, should we say like Atis did know about it because he didn't want the lies about him? Because it's
poor little Anna.
Wow, yeah. She keeps showing that clip of her like saying like, oh, maybe I should say this, you know, make up this so then people don't get mad at me. I don't know how Mikaela's got all this unedited footage, but that's crazy.
This car in this photo here, I purchased. I bought the damn car. I have the bank records. You'll find out in a minute, but Atis Paul was taking a large percentage of my income from OnlyFans. But that aside, I paid for like $25,000 of this car, and Atis had paid for $5,000 of it. But that $5,000 was actually money that he had earned from his percentage on my OF that month.
When Anna Paul's brother and Mikaela were dating, he was stealing money from her. He was taking a cut of her OnlyFans. That doesn't sound very good to me. Earlier this month, on the 2nd of April, Anna Paul comes back with another response video. After the 7-hour podcast that Mikaela's been posting, all of the shit that's come out about her and her brother, she decided to make another video. She said she would never do it again, but she has. And hopefully, maybe she responds to some of these other allegations that's going on.
Hi everyone, I know that a lot of people have been waiting for me to make a response to Mikaela's video, and before I get into that, before I do that, I want to address something very serious, and that is that a couple of years ago, I made a huge mistake by being in a YouTube video where I talk about a relationship that I wasn't even in. Only the 2 people who are in a relationship truly know what goes on in that relationship.
So here, I think she's talking about Atis Paul and Mikaela, how they're in a relationship, and she hasn't brought up the Atis thing with Mikaela because apparently it's not her relationship and she shouldn't be doing that.
In this video, I will not at all be addressing Atis and Mikaela's part of the relationship. Atis has done that on his Instagram today. That is his story to tell, not mine whatsoever. Some people are saying because I didn't get her with a defamation case after her podcast was posted that what she's saying must be the truth and she must be telling the truth, but that is not the case at all. In reality, a defamation case takes 3 to 4 years. It takes such a long time, and it costs $500,000 to $1 million. It's very expensive. It takes such a long time.
And guys, she feels broke, so of course she's not going to do that. Come on, get real.
People started commenting like, oh, she came with the receipts, like all the receipts. And I thought, okay, let me see, like, what are these receipts? I want to see. So I watched her video and there are no receipts about me. There are no receipts about me. She puts up photos from my public Instagram and stuff like that, but she just tells very, very long stories. I today, however, have come with actual receipts.
Oh,
so
shit.
Let's get into it. She asked to hang out with me 4 months ago. Even though now I've always been this very bad person, 4 months ago, she wanted to hang out with me. First one that I'm going to address, which is so stupid, is that Atis takes my OF content. She seriously said that. She seriously said that. And when she said that, I was like, yes, now people will know she's lying. Good. But that's not the case. So now I'm going to address it. Atis doesn't take my OF content, obviously. Either I took it or Glenn took it. She's trying to make it seem like Atis was in the bedroom, like, you feel me? That's ridiculous. And she knows it's ridiculous. She knows it's an online rumor. And I'll put up a receipt on the screen. This is us.
She said, Atis takes my OnlyFans pics? What? Ha ha ha. She's a nutcase. Yuck. What the fuck? Effing weird bitch. I want to kill. Whoa. Jesus Christ. I didn't even have OnlyFans when they were together. The only OnlyFans thing Atis ever taken to me was in Bali. Hold up. Didn't she just say that Atis has never taken or recorded any videos for her OnlyFans? And she just says here that he's done it one time. You just proved it right by putting that on the screen, did you not?
Next is that all my birds are dead and that I clipped their wings and that I abused them and all these things. So that is obviously not the case. I actually have photos. You can see in all these photos that I've never clipped my bird's wings. Quakesy passed away last year and I've put him in my home somewhere where every single morning I can say good morning to him and I can say good night to him because he meant the world to me. So for her to use him is just...
I took care of my birds. Here are the ashes to prove that I love my birds so damn much.
I have one horse who I love. He has the best life you can imagine. He lives in one of the top riding schools in Australia. He gets professionally ridden twice a week. He gets rugged every day. He has a huge paddock to run around and he has the best...
So the horse that's living somewhere else gets looked after very well. No surprise there, I guess.
This whole animal thing is just one huge projection from Mikaela. Because the second her cat was a minor inconvenience to her, she had her assistant drive her cat to the closest shelter and dump him. Where is your cat, Mikaela? Where was he rehomed to? You don't know because you don't care.
So she denies the allegation and then comes back right at Mikaela and says, you abandoned your cat. I would never do that to my cat. I always look after my birds. Here's my ashes to prove it. I've got a horse in a boarding school. Checkmate.
Here are my analytics.
Oh, wow. Okay, this is juicy. This is a breakdown of Anna Paul's Instagram following. Only 6.2% of people are underaged. And look, she can't really do anything about that. Like, she would never tell people to unfollow her. But because she's like an OnlyFans creator, this feels very weird to me.
While all this drama is going on that she kicked off about her being concerned about my fans and they're all underage and she's so worried, what does she post on her Instagram while all eyes are on her? While her views would be higher than ever, of actual children wanting to know, ooh, what's the tea? What's Mikaela going to say about Anna? What does she do? She posts slide after slide after slide on her Instagram story of a link to her other page where you can buy videos of her and her partner having sexual intercourse. The fact that she said that I call everybody fat, apparently I'm just out there calling everybody fat, and she obviously came up with that because she knows that I am a very body positive person and that is one of the things I stand for online, so she wanted to take that away from me. And keep in mind, we didn't use the word fat in a derogatory way. It wasn't an offensive word in my household and it wasn't an offensive word in Glenn's household, I can tell you that right now. That her story of me saying I called a fan fat, she has no receipt for that. She's just telling a story. There is no receipt that I ever...
Again, back to the he said, she said type B type shit. She can say whatever she damn wants about whatever she damn pleases, you know? If you don't got video evidence, then it's dismissed, you know? But she still isn't responding to all this Atis stuff, which is still a sus thing for me. The thing that keeps bringing me back to, doesn't make me feel good. Okay.
Mikaela was the most insecure person that I have ever met in my life. And I was always there to support her and make her feel beautiful and make her feel good. And
that's just a bit of a low blow, isn't it? Look, Mikaela, we were good friends, but she was the most insecure person I've ever met. She was crazy. A lot of just bringing each other's characters down, which doesn't look good for either of them. I'm gonna be honest.
There with a tape measure, like, ooh, your eyes are too close together. Like, I'm a crazy supermodel with the most perfect, like, it is crazy to me. And the thing is that Mikaela's eyes were often a topic of discussion for us. This is the real Mikaela. Without the eyeliner, her eyes are so fucking small on her face, it does not work. Now, she needed constant reassurance for her own beauty, which I always gave.
Look, it's very obvious that you are both like low-key rude to each other and low-key rude to other people. So I feel like this back and forth about he said, she said isn't getting us anywhere. It doesn't mean anything for the argument at hand. Just keeps going on about, oh my God, but let me tell you a 1-minute segment about why she's so insecure about her eyes. Like such a small, minute detail that in the bigger picture doesn't really matter.
That I ran an illegal lottery. News.com confirmed that it wasn't illegal, and a quick Google search will show you that My lottery was not illegal. I did not do anything illegal. And she did.
Okay, she did respond to one of the points that we actually care about, the illegal lotteries that she's been running via her OnlyFans to children. And apparently they weren't illegal.
She sent nude photos of herself to 14-year-old boys in a group chat when she was 19 years old. And to make it worse, she stayed in contact with these boys until they were over age. Not a lot of people have spent time with the actual Mikaela. She is not a nice person. So I'm going to leave you with one final receipt.
I'm keen to see this.
This is the Mikaela that you don't know.
My goal is to make sure she doesn't fucking post a thing. Because remember how I told you she would always copy me, she would always steal my stories, steal my personality, everything, the car idea, all of that. She stole it from me. I'm supposed to be the one with 7 million followers. I'm going to be vlogging after this.
That doesn't look good for Mikaela.
I need someone to watch because everyone's addicted to watching her, and I'm going to live that life that I should have had. And this doesn't come from jealousy.
Oh my God, this is so immature. I'm exhausted. I feel gaslit. I feel attacked. This is making my head damn spin, dude. One revenge story. They just keep coming at each other, keep revealing stuff. Look, they're both definitely not innocent. I'm going to tell you that much. Even if both of them are lying, that's still a sin in itself, you know? Because there's one final video. Mikaela Testa has posted one more. Okay, Mikaela is responding to this pretty damning evidence about her sending nude pictures to underage boys, I think she said.
Anna Paul is a liar and her brother is a rapist, and she'll say anything to try and discredit me from calling her fucking rapist brother out. It took me forever to try and find the person in the screenshots, but I found them, and I said, I hope you realize the claims that you've claimed are serious. I do not know you, and I did not stay in contact with you until you were overage. That photo that was sent in the chat was also a photo that was posted to my Instagram story with a swipe up link back in 2019 for my OF account. Can we call? I was going to text you about this. I kind of said, you know, I was uncomfortable because at the time I thought he was the bad guy. I said, she has said in a video that I was grooming you, sending you nude photos, and staying in contact with you for years until you were overage. Are you standing behind these claims or are you revoking them is my question, because I know they're not to be the truth. The person says, okay, that's fine. I feel like I would articulate this better on call. However, I have not once been in contact with Anna at all. I was just going off the rumored past you have. So all the ages you guys are seeing are fake and not true at all. I said, so basically what you're telling me is Anna Paul has heard Chinese whispers from Kurnikov and they've blown it up into a big story that is not true and you never said that. He says, yes. I took so long to try and find where this conversation had come from because I was like...
I was kind of expecting that.
I ended up calling this person and having a phone conversation with them. They're a really nice person. I was texting them all last night. They did not deserve to be brought into this. Anna Paul will do and say anything to protect her rapist brother. She would rather tear me into the ground with lies, things that are built on lies, to protect her rapist fucking brother. He has raped 3 girls. He has raped me. He's raped Alice Patterson and Jemiah. Was filled with lies, and if people don't start opening their eyes, they are going to get away with it again. I am going to the police station tomorrow. I was going to do an episode 4. I'm not doing an episode 4 because what am I going to respond to? Lies? If you want to support this family, go ahead, but just know the truth.
Oh, Jesus. Mikaela's demeanor has changed a lot from the first video to now, when she was reading off her damn script, looking pretty like shaken up and nervous about coming out with all this stuff, and now I'm getting a confident vibe. And Anna Paul still, like, you can't just go off vibes, obviously. Vibes don't prove anything, but the vibes I'm getting from Anna Paul, kind of a little less confident. And this is the final video, the most recent video that she's posted. Anna Paul hasn't done any response since all of these videos. In fact, she started posting normally again. I can pull up her most recent video.
Seeing Lana Del Rey and Luke Combs next weekend at Stagecoach, and I don't have an outfit, so I'm looking for one at these markets.
She's talking about the concert she's about to go to and how excited she is for it.
You know, when you see the eyeliner-less, makeup-less Mikaela, we're not fucking around. You need to listen up. The ex-girlfriend of Atis Paul, so the one after me, is now doing a tell-all video speaking with her face online to tell you guys exactly the horrific experience she experienced with Atis Paul and his family. For everything he did to me, like the rape, the financial abuse, and the physical abuse, isn't going to suffice. It is not going to satisfy me at all whatsoever. I am going to make sure that every single woman on this earth knows exactly what they're getting into if they want to consider a friendship with Anna Paul and a relationship with Atis Paul.
Some very, very serious claims being thrown out, and she's telling us that she's going to go to the police. It got damn serious real quick. If Mikaela's telling the truth, that's awful. The final thing that I got to show you. The final thing is the graphs, okay? Anna Paul has lost 2 million followers since the incident shown right here. Come over to Mikaela Testa's page. It's only been going up. She's gaining like what? 500,000 here? More people are siding with Mikaela and more people are unfollowing Anna Paul. I'm sure they both said things that are not true, and I'm sure they both said things that are true, and I guess we'll have to see where this legal battle goes now, huh?